What's up? What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome into the first edition of the Only the Bulls podcast. Wanted to do a little disclaimer here at the beginning. I'll be short. We'll get right into it, but just wanted to say most of you are seeing this. I think it's going to be Saturdays when this airs. We actually are going to be recording these on Mondays, so that's kind of how our schedule goes out. Monday record, Wednesday on Patreon. I think that would mean Saturdays is when you guys are seeing it. Friday, Saturday, wherever this is. I'm pretty sure it's Saturday, but little disclaimer for this one. We did talk about James Harden on Monday, so a little bit of it. You're going to hear about the Bulls trading for James Harden. Obviously, that ain't going to happen. Literally the night we recorded, boom, the news broke that night that James Harden was kind of being traded to the Clippers. So just wanted to throw out this disclaimer, that little part we do talk James Harden, but a lot of it is not about James Harden. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and without further ado, here's the Only the Bulls podcast.
This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
What's up, real MVPs, and welcome into, guys, this is the first time I'm going to say it. This is the first time, by the way, also, that these two are going to hear me say this, and I'm really excited because this is the drop, boys. Welcome to the Only the Bulls podcast, where we talk about only the Bulls. I've been giving you guys, first off, I'm Ricky Widmer, joined with Dave Oster.
Hey, everybody.
And our boy, Chainsaw Chief.
What's up, everybody?
Boys, I was dropping hints to you all before we started to record. Because what song was I
just singing the song.
Yeah, I know.
The entire time. That's what you always do. You're always coming in with a tune, Ricky. It is not a hint as big as you think it is. I'm trying to sit here and listen to you sing a song for the last 5 minutes.
I'm just
and you're like, it was a clue. Like, really?
And it's not even the whole song. It's just me.
Yeah.
Only the Bulls. Only. That's all it is. But welcome into the Only the Bulls podcast, where we talk about Bulls all the time, every day. Well, really every other week, because that's the schedule that we have right now. Dave, Chainsaw, and I are back. We did one of these before the season. Now we're back during the season. Like I said, every 2 weeks. Before we get into everything, Patreon link down below, Discord down below. If you love the podcast, hit that sub button. If you like it, hit the like button, and then comment, Bulls fans, what you guys think about everything we talk about today. Talking about P. Will. And then obviously the big news, will the Bulls trade for James Harden? But to get the podcast off right, to really set the mood, I feel like I have to ask one person a specific question. Chainsaw, how have you felt about the Bulls through the first couple games of the season?
Oh, man. I got to...
Gun loaded and handed to you.
I got to say, man, this is tough to watch. It's tough to watch every damn game.
Yeah.
It's like a reminder to me of, like, why do we have this core? Why are we continuing with this roster at Karnisovas every year, every off season trade deadline? You haven't really made a meaningful move since like summer of 2021.
You don't like Zach dropping 50 points and we lose to the Pistons? That's not your idea of fun?
With 0 assists.
Good.
Let's just...
0 assists. That was the cherry on top. Like, I am never going to pass to any of you scrubs. That's what they do.
Nobody else could do a damn thing.
Oh.
Nobody else could do a thing. Patrick Williams was sorry as all hell. Point Kobe is not working out the way I really thought it would be. We kind of coming into this, we really knew that he wasn't a point guard. But
Did we?
Because of Karnisovas' lack to address the Lonzo Ball absence, we have had to play him at the point guard position. Now, I think, well, Kobe White, in my opinion, had his best year last year. 78 more games to come, so hopefully we'll see more out of him. But yeah, last game was awful to watch. It was awful. No one could get a damn thing going.
I mean, was the Raptors game any better though? Like,
no,
the Raptors ending was a comedy
the worst basketball I think I've ever watched.
Yeah,
and that's saying something.
Yeah.
Neither
Absolutely.
team wanted to win that game.
Nope.
Yeah.
But the refs sure helped. Gotta think for that one. Caruso, gold star to Caruso, as always, for the effort and making the situations happen.
And for DeMar DeRozan scoring 15 in the fourth.
Free throws.
Yes, that's just to get into overtime, Dave. Wanted to make it exciting.
That was. Yep. Yep. Sorry, I think Chainsaw was talking about something. Kobe, not point Kobe. Patrick Williams, quiet. We didn't ever address a point guard after losing Lonzo Ball a year and a half ago. So it's pretty much roses, right?
Why is Torrey Craig not starting? He's the best forward on the team right now, aside from I guess DeRozan.
Valid question.
I will say Torrey Craig is probably my favorite thing about this team. Right. Through what, 3 games, right? 3 games. Tonight's game 4. We're recording this Monday as they're playing game 4.
97, 4:27 left in the fourth.
Yeah, I just Torrey Craig has been my favorite player, and it stinks that this team might if this team goes blow up by the trade deadline, he might be out of here, which would be sad to see. But let's get into the real things, the big things we're going to talk about. The first one was, this kind of seems like old news, but not old news because we've only seen him play 3 games this season. This kind of shocked me seeing it on my Twitter timeline of NBA Central had the tweet via @basketballonx via Zach Lowe. And the Zach Lowe comment was, I'm hearing Patrick Williams wants big numbers for his next contract, ... Like, starts with a 2 and isn't 20 million. Dave, I will go to you first. Do you think Patrick Williams will play well enough to earn a contract of $200 million plus?
That's one way to interpret it.
Because that's what I'm interpreting that as, everybody else.
I saw it as, he doesn't want 20. He wants, 26, 25 range. More so in line with what Jaden McDaniels just got. Kind of in that same vein. And that's what I think, he really meant by that. I think it wasn't he didn't want to eke in the 20s. He wanted to be securely in there.
Yeah.
200 million is a whole different. No, Ricky. But do I think that he could deserve 22, 24, 26 escalator? There's a chance he could salvage this year already after 3 games. Salvage is me being nice, but look, he is still 22. He's incredibly young. He is incredibly athletically gifted. Doesn't have necessarily the demeanor that we would want out of someone. Because of Billy Donovan's system, he does not play anywhere near the rim. Therefore, combo of that plus the demeanor issue, he has no rebounding. Barely an effort there, I want to say. So there's a lot of things he could do better. He's still someone who has upside, though, and that is something that Dave and upside go hand in hand. And I can't give up on young talent. And I think a lot of Bulls fans would be a bit. I think on a similar edge. I'm sure they're not going to pay him $27 million if he looks like this all year and averages under 10 points a game and can't get 4 rebounds a game. But after watching Lauri Markkanen leave and look great, after watching Wendell Carter Jr. leave and look a bit more consistent than he was here in Chicago, and a bit better defender than he was here, it's starting to hit a trend of maybe it's us, not them. And I think that there's a thought in the back of my head going, maybe one more coach. Maybe Patrick Williams with one more coach, no DeMar DeRozan, maybe no Zach LaVine. I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself here. Well, but I'm gonna there's room to grow. I'm
going to jump in, cut you off, throw this out there. This is kind of what I was thinking while you were talking, based off what you were saying, is I don't think last year and this year with the Billy system and the Billy team, I don't think Pat knows it. Either Pat doesn't know his role or Billy doesn't have a role for him on this team. It's one of the two, because it's okay, what is he? Is he the scoring is he a scoring option behind Zach and DeMar? Is he let's be honest, the 4th scoring option? Because really it should be Zach, DeMar, Vuce. Is he the 5th? Is he, go in there, play good defense, get rebounds? Is he, we need you to be 3 and D from the outside? It's if you asked me what Patrick Williams' role is on this team, I couldn't give you a definitive answer of yes, this is his role. This is what Billy Donovan expects from him. It's almost is it every other night it changes, which makes it hard for a player when it's every single night you're asked to do something else when you're not the superstar of the team.
I feel like he wants Patrick Williams to be like PJ Tucker was, to stand in the corner, hit open threes, and play defense against the best swing on the other team. And that seems to be his role. He doesn't shoot enough threes necessarily, but it's scarily similar. And I think that the problem is that as a Bulls fan, you, myself, Chainsaw, other people around, we're looking at a 22-year-old with crazy athletic skills and who's, showed sparks of hope as far as being able to create for himself. And we're going, his job is to stand in the corner. And that's it. That's what we drafted you 4th overall for, is to stand in the corner. Yeah.
Chainsaw, what would you say his role is? Or if you were Billy Donovan, what would you want his role to be? Better question.
At this point, I'd move him to the bench where he has more of a role to create in the offense. I was gonna make the comparison maybe, and this is just offense wise. Remember Lauri Markkanen's last little half year with us, where he was just drifting at maybe it was the Boylan days where he was just sitting at the 3-point line, just sitting there the whole time, just loading up shots. It's kind of how it seems like with Pat right now on offense. Really, he's just sitting at the 3-point line. He's not going for rebounds. We know that. Just like you've got all this athleticism and you're not really using it by just standing at the 3-point line. Kind of similar to what we saw with Lauri. I mean, you know what I mean? For a 7-footer, he was athletic and we didn't really use that at all. And now look at him with Utah. But yeah, in my opinion, I don't know a role for Patrick Williams right now with the starting 5. I really don't know. I don't see it. I think really he should be on the bench because he has, in my opinion, he probably has more of an ability to create than Torrey Craig does. But Torrey Craig is the veteran presence. Honestly, he's been making the shots. He's definitely got the defense. I really think that they should swap him to the bench where he can have a more on the ball role with the bench. And he played, when they did that last year, he played pretty good, I would say, right? I mean, I didn't really see much of a loss of confidence really after a few games. I mean, and that really should motivate you to get your play up too. When I get that contract, I mean, getting benched is not what you want if you're trying to get paid 20 plus.
It's it would be how you spin it to Patrick Williams, because if yet again, this is me, if I was the coach, my spin would be, hey, everyone's got a different role on this team. You're not coming to the bench. It's not a negative. It's a positive. I need you on that second unit.
Yeah.
Like, we have DeMar, we have Zach. Like, one of the things I'm thinking about, yet again, from you talking, you're talking about like, oh, he's not grabbing rebounds. The thought just popped into my head, but we got Vucevic and Drummond are our 2 centers. Like, do we necessarily, like, I know it's a waste of athleticism. He's crazy athletic when he was at Florida State. But it's like, do we necessarily need him to be the top rebounder? Because we have Drummond and Vucevic who soak up rebound. Well, did last year. Vucevic hasn't been the greatest rebounder 3 games into the year. Tonight, glad to see it against Miles Turner. But like Jalen Duren, Duren's been outrageous with the rebounds so far this season. I don't know. I look at it and I go, so what? Our first unit would then be Kobe at the 1, Zach at the 2, DeMar at the 3. Craig would move into the 4, Vuce at the 5. Right. Then our second unit, what? You have Caruso, Carter, and Dosunmu are your 1, 2, 3. Williams at the 4, Drummond at the 5.
I mean, you're not going to have that whole lineup out there, but essentially.
Well, I mean rotations are like DeMar might be playing with the second unit at times.
Yeah, there's never. I don't think there's like a minute if DeMar and
Zach are not on the floor.
Both healthy. Yeah, it feels like one of the 2 are always in the game, but. I agree with you in theory, but the one thing I do think kind of counts for is like Torrey Craig in the starting unit makes sense because he also is an excellent off-ball cutter. And that's why he's able to get more rebounds, because he's always trying to crash towards the rim. And I think that works really well with this offense. If we're expecting Zach and DeMar to take all these shots, having somebody who's able to cut and, not only gather up some offensive rebounds, some second chance opportunities, but also create that action, because if you see your defenders not looking at you because they're maybe hedging towards trying to help out a Zach or DeMar defender. Like, make them pay for it. And that's something that Pat has never done. That's what we loved Javonte for last year, was the fact that Javonte would backdoor cut every chance he got because he knew, yes, I might only be 6'5", but if you throw it up near the rim, I'm not going to not finish. Like, he's just, that was his thing. He was all energy, all hustle. And that's why we loved him, because he was giving us all that. Meanwhile, Pat is happy to sit in the corner because that's what Billy tells him to do. And I don't know if it's a youth thing or demeanor or what, but yeah, like Torrey Craig knows his role and he knows how to do that, and he knows how to take advantage of other teams.
Well, he's a veteran. He's been around.
Exactly, like you said. Yeah. So I think fit wise, he's way better fit. Even though Pat's a better defender, I honestly think I could see us switching up some rotations where we end up with Caruso or Craig in the starting lineup over Kobe White. I want to go 6-man Kobe, 7th-man Patrick Williams. And that way we still have a really good defender in the starting unit, whether that's Caruso or Javon, a good enough defender on the wing and Torrey Craig. Like, it gives us some balance still, but also then that bench scoring unit can have Kobe and Pat together. But we kind of saw them build a little bit of continuity in the preseason. And it's one of those things where it's like, they really should have more of a rapport at this point, being that this is Pat's third year. I know he missed an entire year basically, but like, they really should play well together. And especially since we're all about continuity here, same systems, we're just trying to shoot more threes, even though we're still dead last in threes taken in the league. Like, that's the other thing that's killing us, is just the volume and shot choice. But that's a Billy choice, not necessarily a player problem. I mean, DeMar DeRozan's DeMar DeRozan. Let's not.
I think with Pat, I think his the problem with his cutting and like the rebounding, I think the intangibles just are not there. Like, dude, I know we've got Vucevic and Drummond as kind of like the big rebounding guys, but you'll never, dude, you'll see him miss box outs, all sorts of things that you're supposed to do to get a rebound. And it's like you said, Javonte did those things, right? He cut when he knew when to cut.
DJJ, same thing.
DJJ, I missed that guy. But
3 games into the year, I missed that guy.
Look, he's not. Torrey Craig's an upgrade. No one's going to argue with that. We all love Torrey Craig, what he's bringing, but the energy that they brought and what they could do as vets,
yeah, exactly. And then we also don't have Pat Bev anymore. But it's 3 energy guys gone.
The one thing I'm looking at, and Dave, this is based off yet again something you said, and like, it was really bad game 1. Games 2 and 3, it wasn't as bad as game 1, but I think, if this makes sense, I think more opponents in the NBA are going to be like game 1 than 2 and 3, where my biggest criticism after that Thunder game was that they shot, first off, 48% from 3. They hit 19 threes and took 39 of them, where we went 12 of 42.
We shot 42 threes.
We shot 42 threes in that game, and we only made 12.
That's the right answer, though. I don't care if we made 12.
Yeah.
The fact that we shot 42 threes, tonight, we're at 17.
Okay.
And the game is 30 seconds.
How many do the Pacers have?
43. They're 12 of 43, and guess what?
Because
that's where the NBA should be.
Because
it's an opportunity that will happen.
That's the thing in the other games is like, yeah, we shot like poop from 3 against the Raptors. We went 8 of 39. But guess what? The Raptors went 9 of 36. Then against the Pistons, if I could Elmer Fudd it, get it out, Alex Caruso, we went yet again 11 of 28. Pistons, 12 of 28. Like, the game 2 and 3, it's like, okay, we kept it close. But there's a part of me that thinks the better teams in the league are going to be more like that Thunder game, where if our defense doesn't play better from beyond the arc, it's going to be a problem all year.
The top 3-point shooting teams in the league, just to give you an idea. You want to take a guess on this one?
Warriors.
I think you could get, they're number 1.
Number 2, are they number 1? Number 2 would probably be, are the Thunder up there already? Because they shot really well against us.
Thunder are like 11 or 12.
I want to say the Mavs, but Luka's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mavs are 3.
Okay.
Literally, Rick, just think of the best teams in the league.
is 2.
The best teams in the league.
Bucks.
The Celtics.
Celtics are 2, Bucks are 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are shooting the most threes per game. I don't know. Maybe there's some correlation here with talent, shooting threes, modern basketball, and not number 1 on my board.
Number 2, that's okay. We pay
number
him a
2
lot.
works from 3, but like that's again we went out and we tried to get Torrey Craig and Javon Carter as personnel who shoot threes, and what have they done? Like Javon Carter, I feel like he has gotten such a raw deal coming to Chicago. It feels like he is fighting for every minute he gets, and he has not found any continuity. You want to talk about a guy who doesn't know his role? Javon Carter is that guy. He is struggling to find what is going to make him earn the trust of Billy Donovan, teammates, get out there and get those opportunities, because I had really high expectations for him coming in because I saw what he was able to do, notably in the games where he didn't have a lead point guard next to him in Drew Holiday. Like in the 25 starts or so without him, he looked great. He was a solid player. I was kind of hoping for something similar to like when Tyus Jones in Memphis, and you saw what happened. It's like, hey, Ja wasn't there. I can step in. We'll have continuity. Yes, I'm a little undersized, but I give us, still the ability to facilitate, keep the offense running, all these things. And Javon has not looked like that guy for the Bulls. And there's obviously new system, new whatever, but like that's the concern for me, because he's the odd man out, and he was supposed to come in and help. I don't want to say help normalize our offense a little bit, but that's really what it is.
I'm going to ask this 4 games into the years. We are recording this during game 4.
Yep. Will
this be Chainsaw? I'll let you answer first. Will this be Billy Donovan's last year with the Bulls? Not should, will.
No.
We all know it should be his last year with the Bulls. Probably shouldn't even make it all the way through the year, but go ahead.
Probably not. I don't know. I don't really see change coming. I just based off of the history of this front office, man, and like I'll even throw Reinsdorf into this one. I don't see change coming. Unless we blow it up. Which fingers crossed on that one. I don't see change coming though.
Dave, do you think he lasts the whole year? Do you think he lasts into next year?
I think he does, because he's a two-bomber. I also have to issue a correction. StatMuse got me because I was looking at 2023.
Go ahead.
And it was actually 2022-23. So this year it's actually the Kings, then Boston, Dallas. Memphis is up there, but Golden State's still top 7.
But but let's be honest, the Kings this year, Harrison Barnes lit it up game 1.
Last night's game,
that too. De'Aaron Fox going off like.
The moist one going off.
The moist one going off as well. That was a revenge game for the moist one.
But Boston, Dallas, Golden State, all still up there. Yeah, and the rest will get there. I'm not worried about it. Point being, we're not getting rid of him. I want to. We after the secret extension. What was that last offseason, because we won 1 game against the Bucks. Really showed some gumption out there.
I wonder how many more players only meetings we'll need to get him fired. Okay. Like, I will say, we won the next game, but like, when I heard about, like, when it was reported of like that Billy Donovan's like, hey, do you guys need me? And the team went, no. Yeah. I was like, after game 1, I'm like, oh, panic. The heart is just racing. Because it's like, oh, great. He lost the locker room. Wait, he never had the locker room. How can you lose what you didn't have?
Right. I mean, I said this, dude. I said the same exact thing in the Discord. Which, if you're not in it, please do join. By the way, we have great conversations
down
in
below.
There. I said the same thing. I was like, oh, dude. I think this was like at midnight. I'm like, dude, they already had a players meeting already.
Like
day 1.
From the player side of it, though, I can totally understand, because to come out and get I'm going to say embarrassed by the Thunder on your home court. They must have, like, from the player side of it, I had no problem with it, because they're probably frustrated that they got cloned on their own home court to start the year. Like, I would be upset too.
Like, that's the other thing that you got to think about it. Like, not only do you feel bad, but like that's a younger team with more promising future talent on it than we can even dream of. So it's like we're supposed to be the team that is in our window. We got players in their prime, and they're like a bunch of young guns and upstarts, and they're probably gonna be like a 5 seed in the West somehow. Like it's insulting to the Bulls, and I'm glad they took it. And I'm glad Zach came out and said like, hey, we know that if we don't do something, we're not going to be us very long kind of thing. So like that public admission felt good to hear. Would I like to see results that followed it? Yes. But, tonight's a good start, apparently. Holding the Pacers under 140 points is a miracle. If this ends the way it looks like, it's 110-105, Bulls win. But I'm still not going to say that because there's 12 seconds left, and I hate the refs.
So that's going to swing me over to the big topic I wanted to talk about today. And it is apparently over the weekend, it was said on Twitter. I think it was Forbes was the one that put it out there that apparently if the Clippers don't end up getting James Harden, the Bulls are the favorite to land James Harden.
Yeah, not shocked.
I'm going to be completely honest. I know exactly how I feel about this. I'm going to talk about that in a second because I might have put a tweet out at like 5 a.m. on Sunday because I was just thinking about the James Harden deal. Because that's what happened. Ricky
totally
can't
normal
sleep.
Bulls fan reaction.
Ricky can't sleep, so he sits there in bed and thinks about the Bulls, and then thinks about James Harden. But I will say this: I'm on the chainsaw bandwagon. I would much rather blow it up than try to get James Harden and make a run. I'll throw it out to whoever wants it first.
Dave,
should the Bulls trade for James Harden? Yes or no? It's very simple. Should we do that? And what would it take to get him in your mind?
Now, when we start talking Bulls, I needed the marker. I couldn't find my pen. It's somewhere in here. When we start talking Bulls, our biggest problem, we never addressed Lonzo Ball's injury. Would you like to address Lonzo Ball's injury? It's not an ideal way, but the Bulls would have a point guard for the first time in 2 years, and potentially the best point guard we've had since Derrick Rose. And this is a unhappy James Harden who traditionally unhappy James Harden gives you about 30 games of medium effort, and it's on an expiring contract. We know where he wants to go at the end of this. So if the Clippers can't make some magic happen, we could luck our way into, an unhappy James Harden as our tank commander. No, next year. Who knows? But my point is, this season, if we truly want to win this season, God forbid we try to win. Because that's all our team keeps claiming to want to do, but then not actually doing the things that would require us to win.
Yes.
So that gives us the best chance. I don't advocate for it, but I do think that if we want to win, that is our best option available. And having a point guard to run an offense sounds like a crazy idea. Might win you basketball games, though.
I'll say this. It wasn't Forbes. It was Bovada. That's who it was over the weekend. My exact tweet was, it was quoting the NBA Central tweet announcing it. And I said, I could totally see God bringing Harden to Chicago and him winning a title with the Bulls. Just so I'd have to experience Harden and the Bulls both getting rings, which would be two extremely different emotions for me. But I won't have to worry because Harden will never get a ring. That's my Harden hatred there, because I do not believe that he will ever be an NBA champion. Does it solve the problem? Yes, but at what cost? Like, it's the Thanos thing of like, but what it like when we don't win a ring and we're still in the same situation, just in the second round and the Eastern Conference Finals, maybe. Dare I say,
Ricky, if we could win a series.
If we can get out of the play-in,
that would be wild. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we got spanked by the Bucks 2 years ago, and that is still the memory in my mind. Like the Miami thing that happened there was already bad. The fact we limped over ourselves through the Raptors in the first play-in was great, but let's just be honest. The Bucks would kick the shit out of us.
Yeah.
The Celtics don't even want to know what they're going to do to us. Like,
you must.
The top of the East is good. It's so good. And adding James Harden to this Bulls team does not. I guess it depends on at what cost you brought up the phrase itself.
It's
but
the
like,
Thanos thing of like, but what, like,
DeMar
was it all worth
DeRozan,
it? Like that thing of like, what did it cost? Everything.
What are you giving up? DeMar DeRozan,
DeMar or Zach would have
Alex
to be in that
Caruso.
deal.
Yeah.
The question is, who would you rather trade, Zach or DeMar? DeMar, probably.
Well, here's the deal, and I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Chainsaw.
I got Fanspo up if you want to spit stuff.
So James Harden is an expiring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
DeMar DeRozan is an expiring, which is the only reason I think that the Sixers would want to keep DeMar in the deal. I think they would want like DeMar and Caruso and something, because they still want that max money available this upcoming offseason because they've got Toby coming off the books. They intentionally didn't sign Tyrese's extension so they could have all the money and then sign him after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is all Sixers want that money to go pay someone else. And
no, it's to give Kelly Oubre an extension, Dave.
I mean, Kelly Oubre a minimum deal. Like, come on, you gotta admit. I even turned around on that.
I love how Jake through 3 games is like, wow, I never thought that opening up all that cap space next year was just to re-sign Kelly Oubre.
Yeah. So I mean, like that. Look, I feel like that's a Sixers perspective on it. Is they would want to go for a still expiring and then like a piece that would help them immediately, especially in like an Alex Caruso, because who wouldn't want to have Alex Caruso on their team?
Mm-hmm.
You want to put Caruso in that deal?
I think that they would ask for it.
Oh, dude, we fall apart defensively if we do that. But you're right. Honestly, I think realistically, if we want to get a trade like that, there's 2 ways to look at it, man. It's like, one, Harden's gonna make the team. He's gonna make us a better team.
Yeah.
But I guess for me, the question is does it still delay the inevitable? You know what I mean? Like, how much longer are we gonna ride with this core? Even if Harden wants to resign, how much longer are we gonna ride with this core of Harden and Levine?
And even if he doesn't resign, like, let's put it this way. Let's say Harden, like, let's say we're like the stop of like, he doesn't want to be here. Like, yeah, we're successful, but he's like, I don't want to be here. Like, what? I gave up Caruso.
Yeah.
And like Caruso and maybe picks. I don't think like,
I don't think we'd have to go up.
I hope we don't have to give it like we need those picks. I was thinking about this today. I feel like with this Bulls team, I feel like we tried to build this team one way.
Caruso only has 1 more year of the contract, by the way.
The other thing I was thinking about for the deal, and I want to throw this out here, this might be stupid. Sixers might not even want this in the deal. Would you want to, like, basically the Sixers, like you were talking about, Dave, would you want like a DeRozan, P. Will, and Caruso for Harden and PJ? Because PJ is not expiring, P. Will is. So if they want to potentially open up more cap space, that's something that could happen as well. I just don't know how much in love they are with PJ.
I mean, yeah, it's a toss up because if you get the Patrick Williams from maybe tonight, I don't know what, I couldn't tell you because I didn't watch the whole game because we were recording, but if he looks anything like he did last year, yeah, sure. But if it looks like he did this year, maybe not.
But like Chainsaw's right. Like,
are
we gonna
really far ahead of yourself here? Would adding James Harden to the team be a good idea? Just period. It makes the team run better. I mean,
right.
I feel like you're already just wiping that success away, that potential. Play in, or maybe a little above the play in.
So here's where I come from, because I agree with Chainsaw of like, if James Harden is not going to re-sign with us at the end of the year, I don't even want to make the deal. Okay. The reason why I say that is I don't want to give up anything more than DeMar if he's not re-signing with us, because then I'm giving up stuff just for like a rental. There's then the other side of it to me is like, let's say we get to the first round. Let's say miraculously we have enough wins to where we don't even have to play a play-in game. Let's just say that.
Sure.
And let's say win the first round, lose in the second.
Great.
That's a win.
That's the most success we've had here in Chicago.
It's the most success we've had.
2014?
It's 13, the most success we've had, but I have the thought process of like, and the question of, are we trying to build this team the wrong way? Are we trying to build it through, like, we tried to build it through, let's get DeMar and let's get Vuce and let's get these vets, let's get Lonzo. Now that we know the whole Lonzo thing, they only had one plan. Once that one Lonzo linchpin got pulled, the whole house of cards fell and there was no plan B. That's a problem. But there's a part of me that goes, guys, are we doing this the wrong way? And should we go the rebuild route, blow it up, and just go through the draft? Go through the draft, do it like every other team that has been successful. All these other teams that have been successful right now, they're getting the high picks, getting the top guys in the draft.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
The Miami Heat would argue.
Yeah, and how many rings do they have?
The Phoenix Suns would argue.
How many rings do they have?
Okay, you want to ring count the last couple of years? Jokic
Was
they had to make splashes.
Was drafted
they
by.
had to make splashes. They went and they got themselves a sniper in KCP who had championship pedigree. They went and got themselves Aaron Gordon in free agency. They went and paid Bruce Brown in free agency. They had
But
to
the
get
core
all those
was
guys. They had
drafted,
two
is what
guys.
I'm saying. The
They had two
core
guys.
is
We didn't even
drafted.
we didn't even draft Zach either.
Yeah, I
so
know
it's
that's
not
the
like-
problem. We need to draft a good core and then build around it with
Hold on a
veterans. Like,
Do you trust Carlos Silva to make your pick?
no.
Go ahead and take a.
That's a gut reaction.
What's his hit rate? We've got Patrick Williams.
No.
We've got Io DeSumo,
No, probably not.
Dalen Terry,
No.
I don't even know. I can't make a decision on Dalen Terry.
and
He doesn't
Julian
play
Phillips.
enough. It hasn't played enough.
Why hasn't he played?
He played-
We're all just sitting here in silence.
He played a little bit against the Thunder.
I thought he had a
Right?
good preseason.
Julian Phillips or Dalen
Yeah,
Terry?
didn't both of them get in
Phillips,
at the end of
Julian
that? Didn't they both
Yeah, they did.
get in for like a minute?
Yeah, it's look. If you want to complain about Patrick Williams not doing much in his time because he's getting edged out by Torrey Craig, where are you finding those additional wing minutes for either one of those two guys? Like it's
Yeah.
not there right now. We don't have the minutes to give because we want to play a vet heavy rotation because we want to compete.
And let
So
me,
if we want to go, if we want to look at this, aka me, don't know how
Mhm.
much of each is doing the drafting, but
good point.
they've drafted projects across the board. Like outside of Io DeSumo, who we were very thankful to have, and then maybe overcommitted to perhaps.
Mhm.
And Ricky, I know you're gonna hate that I said that, but like
yeah.
outside of him, everybody else is literally a total blank slate prospect with a total project. There's so much we have to build up on these guys. So isn't it weird how we just keep wanting to pay vets more money and then we have to bring in free agents because we're drafting projects, but we're not playing.
We're not letting the projects grow.
We're not letting them develop. We put Dalen Terry on the bench in the NBA rather than let him play 40 minutes a night in the G League for the entire season because we thought it would be good to have him up with the guys. Like
the other
says who? How are we developing talent?
The other two things I just thought about, and this is not Harden bashing. This is our roster bashing. Would Harden even be good enough? Like, that's not the way I want to phrase this. Would Harden even be the right addition to our team? Because yes, he fixed the point guard position, but if he's going to dish the ball to people, who's going to be our spot up shooters? But besides Torrey Craig, I don't know if anyone can make a three on this team half the time. And then two, if nobody can, and we just have to do Harden ISO, how does that not just do what we have now, but a better like it's the same thing, but a better player? Harden's better than DeMar, but it would be just Harden ISO instead of DeMar ISO.
James Harden creates so much more than catch and shoot threes, first of all. Javon Carter is an excellent catch and shoot 3-point player, over 40%. Patrick Williams also over 40% catch and shoot. I think he was like 44% last year. I know lower volume, but still, like we can shoot. That is not necessarily.
Will we
the issue.
with this team though? Even with James
But if
Harden,
you have James Harden playing point guard rather than DeMar DeRozan, not every pass is an equal quality chance to get an assist. Let me put it that way. The looks are very different.
you're talking
and
about like the
way-
hockey assist, basically.
I just mean like getting a pass from
he-
DeMar DeRozan versus a pass from James Harden. You will be differently equipped to score at
Yeah,
that point.
because it's a better pass.
The situation of where they draw the defense, the gravity around them. Everyone in the league knows where DeMar DeRozan's going with the basketball.
I guess the question is, do you expect James Harden to outweigh the Billy Donovan system and be like overcome that disadvantage? Because that's a disadvantage.
I do because he clearly does. He was able to average like 10 assists a game last season, something like that. Like he was fantastic for the Sixers, and even carried their way through a couple playoff games. Like, yes, he was
Mhm.
terrible in 2, but he was also the reason they won in the first place. So like, it's just he has a lot to his game still, and he is still able to create at an elite level, and we would need that. That is how you get from point A to point B in the NBA. We don't have that. So I feel like as much as you want to be like, well, DeRozan could assist and he could facilitate, and Zach kind of does sometimes if he's not trying to get his own shot, and Kobe might do it one day if we let him, have enough reps. Like, no, just go get a guy who can do it. Just go get a point guard for the first time in 3 years. Go get a point guard. Yeah, that's another one. Sorry,
No, you're fine. I was gonna say, Chainsaw, before I let you kind of go, the one thing I do want to say is, and clarify for people out there, is from what my points, I'm not defending like Harden or DeMar. I'll be honest, at the trade deadline, I'm probably going to be on the trade DeMar, trade Zach bandwagon and blow it up. But what I'm going at, it's more of a Harden Bulls versus the rebuild versus the blow it up. I'm not, just so people out there know, I'm not in love with DeMar DeRozan. I don't love this team. I love the team because I'm a Bulls fan, but I don't love the product that I see on the court. And the worst thing, and I just thought about this while recording today, it's a nightmare scenario, boys.
What's that?
Because let's be honest, no team, the regular season games will be whatever because they're regular season games. But if the Bulls win the group or get out of the group in the play-in tournament, and then teams start throwing games because I don't want to play extra games for the play-in tournament. If we win I'm talking about the in-season. In-season, if we win the in-season tournament, that's going to be the worst thing for our management. Because they're going to be like, see? Like Reinsdorf, see? We won a trophy. We got a trophy. See? It works. It's like, no, nobody cares.
I agree.
It's like the Carabao Cup in Europe. Nobody cares about that. I know that's like Spanish to half of you out there.
It is.
Go ahead, Chainsaw.
It's tough for me because, I honestly, I kind of want the rebuild to happen as soon as possible, right? I don't want to have 3 kids by the time my team is good. You see what I'm saying? Harden makes the team better. Preferably, if the Rose and Harden swap would be great. I don't think that gets the deal done. Throwing Caruso in. Well, first of all, I'm going to ask you guys this question: who is more value right now, Patrick Williams or Alex Caruso?
Alex Caruso. Okay,
I thought the same thing, because Alex Caruso to me is like a mid to kind of late first round pick, maybe low 20s.
Yep,
we could be using that for a rebuild.
Yeah.
So if we use him in the Harden trade, obviously that's one less asset we can have for the future. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna say, hey, look, Karnisovas, you have to pick a side this time. This is like the 4th time we've asked him to do it. Is he gonna do it this time around? We don't know, and that's kind of the most frustrating thing about this. I think that better as a team, Harden makes us better. But like you said, at what cost? You know what I mean? We could use, I guess, Patrick Williams as a future asset. We could definitely use Caruso for a future asset, just to trade him for like a first round pick, or maybe even a young player. I mean, I'm not sure what we could get for him at this point. It's tough. It really is tough. We haven't even brought up the Harden, the whole drama thing with him yet either. I feel like that
drama.
Is it just drama because it's him and Joel though? I
don't know.
With my bias against James Harden aside, is that I never think he's going to win a ring. So why would I want him on my team? The drama between that is just between him and Joe, right?
Is it between him and Joe?
I think isn't it between? It's either like him or Joe, or him and Daryl are the two that have it.
Daryl, yeah.
Because you got Daryl Morey there too. So we don't have those guys on our team or running our team.
He forces himself. Well, I don't know, man. I think Zach LaVine would butt heads to somebody.
He'd have to care, and he doesn't do that.
True. He may or may not be a winning player. That's a topic.
That's literally last year we had Dragic tell us that publicly, and we had Patrick Beverly tell us publicly.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Team's got no leader, no alpha, however you want to describe it. Doesn't exist in this locker room.
Yep.
Everybody just wants to sit back and say what's wrong, and nobody wants to fix it. So,
James Harden could step right in and be the alpha in Chicago. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, not that it would help us, but yeah, he could. He'd tell you it was a problem.
Would he step in? Would he step in as the best player on the team?
Yes.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
guys think he's better than Zach?
As good as Zach is, yes.
Is that weird that we said
tough.
that in unison? Dave and I said that in unison at the same time.
So if we go the Harden route, maybe we make it to the first round. Maybe we make it into the playoffs. Maybe have a good first round series. Maybe not. Who knows? But then at the end of the year, at least, we have a ton of money
Right.
that we could spend elsewhere
Mhm.
if you trust that.
Yeah. If we go the Harden route, I don't want to see a full stop at Harden. Maybe another trade. Kind of just,
Shipping Zach for somebody? Like, what are you thinking? Trips? Are we
Oh, I
shipping
was thinking maybe
Vuce?
like
We got to ship one of them, right? 'Cause
Maybe
they're
like
the big
I was just-
contracts.
Where does Boosie go? Who?
Yeah.
Who wants him?
We don't have a center without him. So what's
We
your
got
plan here?
Drummond.
Really?
I mean, we do. I
Drummond.
just said we do.
God.
Like, it's a fact. Like, he's on the roster. He cooked Chet.
That's the one good thing he
One
did this
play.
year.
I know.
In one play against a 19-year-old.
He cooked Chet. We plastered it all on social media.
Yeah, that was like the one thing he did good this year so far. And like, oh man, he's a mess. Dude, he misses a dunk he missed a dunk tonight, wide open.
That's how he gets his rebounds. Okay, don't
True.
tell anybody the secret. Drummond's
It's just-
shots are all rebound potential. That's how he pads the stats.
Yeah, I was just thinking about maybe trading for another shooter or something like that.
Whom are you thinking?
I don't know at this
You're
point.
like, I don't have an answer.
At this point, I don't. Just because I like to see, I would like to see what the team would look like after a Harden move. First of all, I think we would have to give up Caruso as well. Like Dave said, I agree with him on that one.
I mean, are
but
you looking
it's
for
so
another
early.
expiring? Because shooters that are going to be free agents, you have Buddy Hield's going to be a free agent. I'm just going to list off the top free agents and you guys decipher. I know some of these aren't shooters. Pascal Heel, Osman, you got Royce O'Neal, Tobias Harris, Klay Thompson, Joe Harris, Marcus Morris, DeAnthony Melton, Gordon Hayward are the top UFAs based off of contract.
I could see us easily going after Gordon Hayward. I mean,
Is that the necessary shooter?
So here's what we do. We want Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward. We'll give you Zach LaVine. Just make my life worse. Let's just make this Bulls team as terrible as possible. Like, what are we talking about with these names, Ricky? None of these people help us.
Buddy Hield would probably be, if we're looking for a shooter, he'd probably be the one I look at.
We're gonna change our entire identity in a Billy Donovan defense, which has been top 10, top 5 the last 2 years, to say, you know what? Turns out we don't actually care about defense. Let's try running.
Does
offense.
our team care about defense?
We just held the Pacers to 105.
One game.
That's still a miracle.
One game.
Dude, I'll say it again. Last year, our defense, we played a good defense, but it felt like we
never had it every
shoot.
game.
That too.
We were a top 5 defense last year. Pay attention.
I was infuriated after game 1 and game 2 and 3. It didn't really matter because, the teams that we played couldn't hit a 3 to save their lives. But like,
I'll be honest.
You know what we didn't do in game 1? This. I didn't see this all night.
Not a good look. Not a good look.
Just do this.
Not a good look. Oh, both hands up.
I'll take
Okay.
my hand. I'll take my hand.
That's not really a.
This is our 3-point defense.
I know what you're trying to do there,
Yes.
Ricky, but raising your hand in that aggressive manner.
I have it out like this. You saw the palm of my hand. And I'm leaning forward. They never leaned forward.
Yeah. It seems like to me like we just dare teams to shoot, and we just don't give a damn. We don't give a. It's just like it's like, all right, man, shoot the ball. Like, go ahead. You just look. You just watch them shoot, like you just said. Won't even step up or nothing. But you see that other players like DeMar.
You know who
Look, we have to be very careful about this year because we are in a situation where if we don't trade for James Harden, we might trade
DeMar
for
could just
D'Angelo
walk.
Russell.
Oh no.
Because he's out there, and the Bulls need a point guard, and LeBron wants him off the team after 3 games. So let's be honest, we're a pretty big opportunity for them to just come in and like, yeah, you should just give us Alex Caruso back and whatever else. Like,
You know what I would rather do, Dave? And you're
I'm just saying
probably
we have to do something or else.
Yeah,
We
you're
could end up
probably
with
gonna
D'Angelo
like this. I would rather just give Markelle Fultz money in free agency than trade for D'Lo.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I know you would. That's why I said you're probably gonna like this.
Imagine having a point guard who plays defense and offense. He might not shoot
Because
the best from 3, but who cares?
Here's the point guard UFAs at the end of the year: Monte Morris, Markelle Fultz, Mike
Great pick.
Conley,
Yep.
the dump truck Kyle Lowry, Spencer Dinwiddie, Dinwiddle,
Keep him out.
Jordan McLaughlin.
We already got him once.
Tyrus Jones, Patty Mills, DeLon Wright, Chris Dunn, Kobe White, Dennis Smith, Pat Bev, and Kojo.
Give me back
Aaron
KD.
Holiday.
Give me KD
The
back.
real KD.
Chris Dunn.
Give me KD back. He'll carry this
good. He's
defense
looked good, I'll be
again.
honest. We would have the clamsiest defense if we could get Caruso
God.
and the real KD. No one's scoring on that.
Is
But
Talk about
You're
the
talking
amount of
about
dog on
shooting
that team.
chainsaw. I had this thought. Is there any way we can get a Furkan in the Harden deal? Not saying that helps our
Is
that
he on
doesn't
the
help the
team still?
defense part, but he
Wow.
shoots threes, doesn't he? Yeah, he's on the team.
he's still on the team.
He just
I
doesn't
feel
play.
I feel like he is still on the
Yeah,
team.
Furkan's,
Who was the one who went-
Furkan's there.
No, somebody went somewhere else. Who was
Talking
the
about
former?
Rocco.
No.
Isaiah Joe.
Rocco's on the Clippers. Isaiah Joe's on the Thunder now.
Yeah, I know that.
Right. Okay.
I feel there was somebody else who used to be on the Sixers.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
we always joke about it.
He was the one that lit us up game 1.
Yeah, Furkan always lights us up.
Yeah, he's
The
weirdly
Korkmaz game.
annoying.
Did you say he's
Anyway.
weirdly annoying?
Yeah,
He
it's
is.
just it's a Bulls thing.
It is the only place
But,
that and Yang.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of we could try to add shooting, but it just I'm with you. What's the haul we could get back? If you just add it up, we can trade DeMar DeRozan for what, a late 1 and a 2, maybe?
Yeah.
If we get a late 1 for Caruso.
Yep.
So that gives us back a couple picks.
Mhm.
We have the rights to Portland's, which won't cash this year. So it'll roll over.
You're talking
next
about the
year for
Blazer
a-
pick.
Yes,
Right.
Portland Blazers. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Next
are gonna
year,
get that eventually.
eventually.
We might not get
2028,
it ever. Let's be honest.
We got like 4 more years to go. But
Jeez.
we do owe a first next year, protected top 10
Mm-hmm.
to the Spurs, which means
Yeah.
we should suck next year because also it's the potential best player who's coming out since the last best player.
So yeah, you're right. We've got the Portland pick,
Yeah.
top 10 protected, top 10 protected, top 10 protected, top 10 protected. You're right, Chainsaw. We're eventually going to get it, but is there a chance that in 2024, 5, 6, and 7, the Blazers just suck every year and that defers to a second in 2028?
I think the chance is high.
That it defers to a second? That they
Yeah.
just suck for 4 years and get
Yeah.
top 10 picks every year?
There was
I'll give you
some-
3, maybe. It's close.
definitely 2.
Because Dave is right. Then we've got the Spurs thing is
We
it's
owe a
top
pick to
10
the Spurs,
yeah,
but
it's
yeah.
top 10 protected next year.
Yeah.
Then in 26 27 it's top 8 protected. And if we suck till 2028, that's why I'm like, that's another reason why I'm like, just blow it up, because then we don't have to give up our pick if we're just bad for 3 years.
I agree. And we would be bad
Yeah,
if
we
could
would be
flip
bad.
DeMar and
Zach.
Caruso. Zach is the question of what could we get back, kind of thing. That's the interesting one. Of
Am
where do
I
you think his
crazy
value
for
is?
thinking we can get a first, even if it's a late first for Zach? Or like, how high is that
more
first?
than that? Ricky, we're talking like
I was thinking
Dude,
three
I
firsts.
was
we're
thinking,
talking 2 firsts and 2 seconds at least.
dude, I
That's
am
what it's
underselling Zach then in my head.
You're very
maybe I'm just
underselling
that just disdain.
$50 million is a lot of money. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. But 2 firsts, 2 seconds for a player who has just been a perennial losing player would be a pretty great deal.
Perennial losing player.
I mean, you tell me what he's done.
You know, it just
It's
popped
not-
it. You said perennial losing player, and what popped into my head was the Piston game, and then the meme of the guy who's on the podium with the champagne, and then you look and he's like 10th. That's what that just popped into my head. Like, oh yeah, that seems like Zach LaVine, and I hate to say it.
I'm thinking 2 firsts, 2 seconds would be Zach LaVine's starting convo. And I think that's
Yep.
probably-
Who wants him? What team
New
do you
York.
think would want him? The Knicks.
New York's been wanting
New
him for a
York or
while now.
honestly Orlando.
Oh, Thibodeau. Does he play enough defense for Thibodeau? Does he care enough for Thibodeau?
I think Thibodeau's turned a new page.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You would know, Chainsaw. You're in the depths of New York.
Watching what Brunson did, I feel like he wants to keep going that direction.
Yeah.
So I think that, yeah, adding more offensive firepower is, I don't know if they'll ever 100% buy in on RJ Barrett. Or Julius Randle.
Mhm.
Both of those guys seem to just be like, they're very good. Well, Randle was very good till he's not.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
RJ keeps giving you hope, and I'm not sure if I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, RJ.
That's I don't necessarily want either one of those players. I'm just saying, like, they have contracts, they
Mhm.
have money, they have
Yep.
draft capital,
Yep.
and they have a very deep roster full of younger guys who they may or may not want to pay, like IQ. Like, sure, I'd do that, but I think a team like them would be interesting. Honestly, the Magic would be interested. The Heat would be happy to give us a bunch of garbage.
Tyler Hero.
No, I bet you it would be like Kyle Lowry,
man.
Duncan Robinson, and 2 firsts, and maybe Jovic.
I bet Tyler Hero would think Chicago slaps.
Sure, he would, but he wouldn't be in the deal.
Does Karnisovas have Orlando on the blocked call list?
I don't know.
Or does he have them on the favorited call list because he loves having Vuce on this team? No, I think it's
Oh,
Orlando has AK on the blocked call list.
Yeah.
Because they
Really?
have
'Cause they don't-
yeah, because they got so many young players with our draft picks.
I'd want to trade with you again. If I fleeced you once, let's do it again.
No, I if I'm Orlando, I'm like, no, I want to hang on to this young talent, not give it
Oh,
away.
okay.
I don't think they have to give that much away. But yeah. I just there are enough teams who have money and deals that they would be willing to flip.
Mhm.
Memphis would be the interesting one because they just have all these injuries this year.
Yeah.
And it's like Zach's on
Yeah.
a long-term deal. You could let him cook, but could you imagine like a 3-man lineup of like Zach, Ja, and Bane out there together? Like that offensive firepower. I know it's undersized for a 1-2-3, but that
Either
offensive firepower would be filthy.
would either LA team be on the radar
yeah.
for a Zach trade?
Yeah, I'm sure they'd give up Marooks in
Yeah.
a moment for it.
Like I was thinking more like when I'm thinking like the Clippers because of the James Harden stuff, but Zach with PG and Kawhi, would you want that because he's not like
Sure.
a point like a
Yeah.
true like passing point guard. Zach don't pass.
He's not Brody.
Good. What? Oh, the,
He's great
the
during
Bulls
those
get. What if the Bulls got James Harden and Russell Westbrook in the same year?
They would not.
You're
They
like, oh,
They wouldn't trade Russell Westbrook. I'm telling you.
for Zach.
No. I know it sounds incredibly stupid to say.
I
and
just wanted to throw it out there.
But like they need a point guard, and he will try hard for 82 straight games, and they
Mhm.
need that on that roster so badly to carry them through a regular season.
Could Zach get them to move on from Terrence Mann?
Yes.
Right? Because wasn't Terrence Mann the one where it's like, I don't know if we want to put that in a James Harden deal.
Correct. But that's more so like they got him bent over a barrel and they know it. And
Yeah.
when we're the only competition, how much competition is there really? Like our front office is known to poop the bed pretty often now, but
Mhm.
let's put some honesty behind it right now. I just think that yes, we could flip Zach for assets. Yes, we can flip
Mhm.
DeMar. Yes, we could flip Caruso.
Right.
To what end? I mean, if you just said you don't trust, we're just picking a bunch of projects. Are we going to let the projects play?
Dude, that's what I was calling for the last time us three talked.
If you commit to the tank, Billy has to go, is my answer.
100%.
Yeah. I'm
So
on
is
that
Carter
bandwagon
Silvis.
too. You're speaking my mind, Dave.
Yeah, I feel like we're at like a chain reaction has to happen of things, and I always assumed it would be an injury this year. I think I joked with you guys about that in the first episode. It was like someone's going to go down, we're going to look terrible, and then we'll make some moves finally. I don't know if that's necessarily true after watching the first couple games this season, but I think that it'll be a chain reaction when it does happen. I know at the beginning I said he probably won't get fired because we have a cheap owner. But if we do start to suck real badly and start making some trades, there's no reason to keep Billy around.
I mean, the other thing too, that this is what I think of is like, I wonder if AK is sitting there going like, okay, just get through this year. Get through this year. Lonzo comes back next year. The only problem with that is there's the issue of if this is a losing season or a mediocre season, does DeMar want to stay? And does that hurt us if he walks? That just opens up space for us to sign someone else. Like, is the plan from AK just get through this year? Lonzo comes back next year, everything's fine, and the system works.
I could see that being their hope. I could 100% see them gambling on the fact that they think they can eke out one more 37 win.
Because I don't think AK has a backup plan. That's the problem.
Nope.
There's no
37,
plan B.
39 win season, right? Right, boys. That's right about where we're thinking if we're playing our cards right.
Do we miss the play-in this year?
I don't think so. I think we can find a spark if
Pistons look better this year. I know it's early, but Pistons look better.
Yeah.
See.
Pistons do.
Yeah,
look
we
better,
might. Yeah, we might.
But I would still say
I'm pulling up the standings right now just
10
to see.
teams that would make it over us. You ready?
we just beat the Pacers.
Boston,
Absolutely. You
Indiana,
Yep. We just beat
Philly.
Indiana though.
must. Yeah, but we can beat them and they could have more wins at the end of the year than us.
That's potential. Okay.
Philly.
Milwaukee, New York, Philly. That's 6.
Sure.
Miami. That's 7. Cavs, 8.
Brooklyn.
I was gonna say Atlanta next.
Atlanta, Brooklyn, Orlando,
9,
Pistons.
Atlanta.
That's your next like grouping.
Okay. The
No.
Pistons are
I'm
not-
just saying. No. I'm saying
Yeah, I don't
grouping,
see the-
Dave. I'm not saying all of those will. I'm saying that's your like next tier right there. Is Brooklyn?
Are you putting us in a tier here with the Wizards right now and the Hornets? Is that
We're either in that tier or we're gonna be like we either have to be at the end of the tier I just listed or the top of the tier that you just listed.
We're in the same tier as the Pacers,
Mhm.
the Magic, and probably
ATL.
probably Atlanta. They're just and Brooklyn. So like there's 5 teams in that middle.
Yeah.
Like
Can we be the best of those? Can we be top 4 of those 5?
I think there's a chance.
Absolutely.
I think there's a chance.
Why not?
Pistons is the top of the bottom.
Even though the Raptors are 1-3 to start, are they going to be bad this year, or is this just a slow start?
No, they're bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's something functionally wrong there.
The Nick Nurse system was the thing holding them together because they didn't really change. Like Fred VanVleet's the biggest thing they lost.
They lost Fred. They switched over to Schroeder and a lot of more Scotty Barnes focused offense. Pascal has been massively cut out of their offense.
Who will he could be traded by the trade deadline.
It's been rumored for the whole summer that we thought he was going to be going to say the 76ers to rejoin his head coach that he loved and had the most success under. And that's one thing that I wouldn't be surprised by. But, James Harden doesn't want to go play in Canada, so they got to find another team. They got to reroute some assets from the Clippers going north now. Do they even want that? I don't know. There's a lot of tricky pieces in there. But, Pascal being almost pushed out at this point. We got to see if they're going to reintegrate him more and put some emphasis on him to becoming that guy he used to be. All about it. I mean, Scotty's looked good, to his credit. Like, more usage for Scotty Barnes was something we were all asking for last year.
Yeah.
But, I think the Raptors are in a stuck season.
100%.
They're similar, but somehow having Scotty Barnes looks much better than Patrick Williams.
Any final things that you guys want to say about anything we talked about or about the Bulls in general? This will be the next time we talk will be 2 weeks from now, boys.
Speaking of the Raptors, credit to y'all for going and getting Dennis Schroeder, who's a point guard, and then playing him at point guard while we sat on our hands and we're like, Ayo Dosunmu or Javon Freedom Liberty. Which one do we want for our roster, guys? It's hard to figure out. Maybe we could have just gone with Dennis Schroeder, who's coming off of some international play where he looked like a very good player still, and has the capability to play point guard and average more than 3 assists a game, which would be world shattering for the Bulls.
I don't know why we didn't go for him at all.
No, because Ayo Dosunmu. You know why?
Message for Billy Donovan.
He's cheaper.
Fix your lineup, sir.
Hey, Dennis Schroeder, nothing. We still have money from our freaking Lonzo Ball exception.
Yeah.
We just never used.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We never used.
Yeah, because we'd go over the cap. It's so dumb. We're so dumb with money and with our roster choices.
Sell the team. There's no dropping of it. Sell the team.
The whole episode, you didn't, Yep,
I got it. I got to sell the team in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Sell the team.
That's my final thoughts. I can't wait to watch Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips in the G League play 40 minutes a night, or else something is horribly wrong.
When does the G League season open up?
It's just getting going right now.
So some of our players will definitely be bounced down there to get some play time. Cool.
They better be.
Dalen Terry sits on the bench all year and plays 2 minutes.
I can't do it again. I can't do it
because Billy needs him there.
What did he learn?
Nothing. Chainsaw, final thoughts.
I guess the message really to Billy Donovan is just get your lineups right, man. I mean, it's pretty much the same roster minus 2 new additions. I mean, and we don't have we don't have the chemistry or continuity.
It's Carter and Craig for DJJ.
We don't have successful continuity.
Not all continuity is good continuity.
Right. The only thing is take out Green and DJJ, put in Carter and Craig.
Yep.
That's the only change.
Right. And those are on paper they're 2 better players. Yeah, those are upgrades, and it does not look like it. Oh well. The product we've seen does not look like it so far.
Does not reflect I know what you're saying.
We just kind of got to, I don't know, we got to get our lineups right, get our together to see if this team really is as bad as I'm thinking it is right now. I don't know. It's 3 games in.
I need a week 1 projection. Do we win 40 games? Is 40 the best case scenario for this Bulls team? You're hard no, Ricky.
Let me see. How many did we win last year? I can't remember off the top of my head. Of course, the ESPN app won't let me see it. I'm going to be negative. No.
Standings for 2022, 2023.
Just gut reaction.
Won 40 games last year.
Yeah, okay. No, we're under that this year. Because there were a couple games last year that do we get the same DeMar last second 3 games? We're like the Minnesota Vikings this year. Yeah, I know, but we're like the Minnesota Vikings this year, where the Vikings last year won all these close games. This year they're not winning them, and it's we sucked at the beginning. Yep. Bulls are going to be like that this year. We're not going to win those close games, and the better teams are going to beat us.
So let's take a look at the next 6 games here. I'm curious to see what you guys think out of these predictions.
What's going to happen between now and our next episode?
We play Dallas. Sure. We play Brooklyn. We got good opponents coming up.
Keep going, Chainsaw.
So Bulls versus Mavericks. What do you guys think?
Loss.
We lose.
Bulls versus the Nets, as Ricky
said.
Could
win. Cam Thomas, 40 points.
But we could win.
We could win, but Cam Thomas plus 30, take it.
Bulls versus Nuggets.
No.
Loss.
Bulls versus the Jazz.
Loss. Laurie Markkinen, 5 threes, 30 plus points. Cook it.
No, I'll give us Bulls win over Jazz.
Bulls versus Suns.
Loss. Is Devin Booker and Beal playing by that point?
One of them will play, Ricky, and we'll lose to 1 star.
We'll lose to Durant.
And then the next 2, Bulls Pistons.
That's a toss up. We should win.
Is it in Chicago this time?
Yeah.
Depends on if Zach makes a pass this game.
Bulls versus the Bucks.
Loss. Dame will cook us.
So 2-4. 2-4 maybe is my guess. Maybe
we'll probably win one of those, but could win two.
Wow.
So that puts us at 4-6, I think, right?
I think we'll either beat the Nets or the Pistons. We'll lose to the other one.
I'm Mr. Positivity here. Maybe we could see 3-3.
No, never. Not even a chance. Not even a chance we sniff 3 wins.
Yeah, we see 3-3.
Yes.
No.
There we go.
We see Bulls versus Mavericks. That's a W.
No.
Luka
cooks us.
Bulls versus the Nets. I think that could be a W.
You keep talking about like Cam's gonna drop 40. We have go full Trump. We have the best.
We got the best defense.
You know what?
Kobe
you
White.
Said 3-3.
He shoots the best threes. Wait, that's not defense. He plays the best. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He had a fluke of a game, people. It was very fluky. Go ahead, Chainsaw.
I see 4-2. 4-2. Bulls, Mavericks, W.
Put the crack pipe down.
We're only losing to the Nuggets.
Yeah, see that smile?
The Suns
you see
right
that smile? You don't even believe what you're saying. You don't even believe it. Look at that smile. Look at that smile and tell me with a straight face that you say we're going to be 4-2 in the next 6. Don't look at the side. Look at the camera. Tell me with a straight face.
We're going to be 4-2 in the next 6 games.
I don't believe you. Look at that smile. You don't even believe what you're saying. You believe this? You? I'm talking to you, Dave. You believe this?
Yeah.
All right, you know what?
Not even a little.
I get it. We don't want to be negative, but like we play good.
We don't want to be negative. If you listen to this hour and a half of us.
We play good opponents in the next 6. It's okay if we're 2.
And you know what? We play up to opponents just like last year.
You're right. We do. Zach 50.
Just like last year. I guarantee it's the same thing. I guarantee we drop games like the Pistons all year long. All year long, we lose to the Magic.
Is Durant gonna cook us all year?
Probably.
Yes.
The nice thing is the NBA draft this year, pretty mid. So like you could probably get a top prospect in like 10 through 15 range, like pretty easily. Oh. It's gonna be a jumble, man.
Dave, you're the one that's focused a lot on the prospects to start. Early on, who's your ideal prospect for the Bulls? This is the guy right now at this point in the early season. You're like, this guy needs to be a Bull. Is it just the top point guard?
Where are we drafting? Is the
up
question.
To you. Where do you think we'll be drafting?
Mid. We're probably drafting in the middle of the.
So we're not even going to get to look at like a Isaiah
If we could get like an Isaiah Collier, that'd be great. If we get Stephen Castle, I would love that. But he's very much in the like he's going to play shooting guard, but he might have some passing ability.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really need that. I want someone who is a wing who has talent. I don't know if that's necessary. Like knowing us, hang on, let me find the rawest project in this thing. I mean, like Cody Williams. Oh. We can go with Cody Williams. We just got beat by his older brother and Jalen Williams down there in OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Like he looked really raw playing internationally this summer. He's mocked by Tankathon at 12. That feels right about where the Bulls are going to pick. So yeah, let's go draft a 6'8" kid who has shown us very little up to this point, but has great physicals. That seems like a Bulls pick, does it not?
I mean, it seems like an AK pick, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I
where do you start with this team if you're trying to rebuild it? Who's still sticking around? Do we need a point guard? Do we need a shooting guard? Yeah, we need a point guard. I hate to say it. Like we just always need a point guard.
I just think if we're blowing it up, everything's on the table. Young kids, you got to fight for. You basically got to fight for your spot on this team. Tomorrow's never given, kind of a situation, and you just try to get what you can from all the big guys. That's basically what we have to do, right?
Yeah,
it's like admitting defeat a little bit right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's all I'm thinking.
But like that's where we're at, though, right?
100%.
Like we're not gonna, dude. I hate it. I hate being this negative. I'm gonna stop before we just get more negative and negative. This is where you guys come in, guys. Let us know. Bring the positivity that I can't bring you right now. I wish that I could be Like I think of like Steve Dangle right now, even at his worst when he's just yelling at the camera about the Maple Leafs. I don't feel good about this team in this season. I need you guys to build me up, build us up. Let us know what you guys think down below. Remember, as Chainsaw said, Chainsaw, what should they join?
The MVP Discord.
The Discord.
Most valuable podcast Discord.
The one fan base we're lacking is Bulls fans, right? We don't have enough Bulls fans in the Discord. Right, Kai,
It used to not be
Jake,
like that.
they would all agree. We have a lack of Bulls fans in the Discord. We love you guys. Join down below. If you want to support us, Patreon link down below. Hit that sub button, that like button, comment like I said. Dave, Chainsaw, and I will be back in 2 weeks. Chainsaw, I'm hoping you're right. If we are 4-2, I will come to New York. No, I will not come to New York. Never will go to New York. But the first time I see you, I will give you a big kiss on the lips. If we are 4-2, don't worry, we won't be. So you don't have to worry about getting one of those. But thank you guys for listening. All that good jazz. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Go Bulls, da Bulls. And as always, have a good day, everybody. As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.